What's up, guys? In this video, I want to go over how fitness and the discipline that comes along with that allowed me to live my dream life and move to Costa Rica as an online fitness coach. So with that, let's get right into it. And I want to start with my career path so you have a clear understanding of how I became a fitness coach. My first job out of college was in finance. So I was inside all day looking at Excel sheets, and that job was great for a while because the money was great, but money can only keep you happy for so long. Now, during my finance job is when I let myself go the most because I was working so many hours, I didn't have time to meal prep or take care of myself. And this led to me gaining a bunch of weight, probably about 50 to 70 pounds, as well as breaking out on my face with acne. And I hadn't dealt with acne since I was in high school. And something I want you guys to really think about is look at your boss above you. Would you want to look like your boss or live the lifestyle that your boss has? And if the answer is no, then get out of that industry or find a different job that's going to make you happy and give you the life that you want. So when I was working this finance job, I was looking at everyone who was above me. I was looking at all my bosses, and I noticed they were all 100 pounds overweight and going bald at 40 years old. And I really sat down and thought to myself one night, that's going to be me because that is my eventual career path. They are literally telling the future for you because their actions every day and what they eat, what they put in their minds, and the work stress that they have got them to the exact point where they are at. So if you don't want to look like your boss, you should leave your job now. And that's exactly what I did because then I became a realtor. And to be honest with you guys, I didn't become a realtor because I love houses. I did it because I wanted quick money and I knew that that was one way to do it. And I did love being a realtor because I was on my own schedule. I didn't have to listen to a boss. I could come into work when I wanted to. I could work from home. I wasn't reliant on a schedule or coworkers. It was literally just on me and what I could produce as a realtor. And this was great for a long time. I was a realtor for 3 years. But after a while, that became just as soul crushing for me because I did the same thing. I looked at the people who were most successful in real estate and I asked myself, do I really want to be those people? And the answer was no, because everyone in my office was addicted to something. Multiple people had to pop Adderalls every day just to get through work. One of my bosses who I looked up to had to take Ambien every night just to go to bed because of all the stress from work. And again, they were all fat and balding, but this time at 30 years old. And I was just like, no, that cannot be my life. And to go a little more in depth on that, I was a realtor in Dallas, Texas. And Dallas, Texas is the opposite of Costa Rica and a holistic lifestyle. In Dallas, Texas, there's nothing to do but drink and eat out every night. So that's what people do. They go out to bars and they eat out at restaurants. And that leads to a horrible lifestyle because there's no nature in Dallas. Like, look how beautiful this is. You get none of that in Dallas. It's literally a concrete jungle. And so not only was the work sucking my soul out, it was also the environment I was in. And another thing I had a huge problem with was the clients I was working with. Now, as a fitness coach, I get to work with clients who want to change their life and who want to work with me. As a realtor, I had to hustle for clients. I had to kiss their ass. I had to tell them whatever they wanted to hear so that they would use me as their realtor. And that's just not what I'm about. If you follow me on Instagram or have seen my YouTube, you know that I'm very outspoken and have very fringe ideas. And I couldn't be my true self in real estate. I literally had to be whatever the person I was selling to wanted me to be. And to tell you the truth, I got burnt out on it. I was good for 3 years, but then after that, I just got tired of kissing people's asses and telling them what they wanted to hear. And that's why I love working with fitness clients, is because they want to change their life. They want to take ownership over their responsibilities. In real estate, you have no choice over who you work with or their mindset. And I worked with some crazy people. There's people who hadn't paid their taxes in 5 years expecting to buy a house, and you'd waste all day with them looking at houses, and then they tell you at the end of the day, well, my credit score is 400, and then you're just back to the drawing board. It was a total waste of time. Whereas my fitness clients, I get to actually see them achieve their goals and work through hardships with them and make them a better person. And this job in real estate really sent me into a depression, because after 3 years of kissing people's asses, telling them what they want to hear, and not being able to be your true self, you really start to think, is this the rest of my life, just kissing people's asses and being someone that I'm not? And now this depression sent me into a spiral in real estate. I wasn't doing as well because I just had no motivation anymore. And you could just tell I hated my job, and that would transmit to my clients. So that also transmitted into my paycheck. And for probably about 4 months, I made no money in real estate because of this. And then I finally had enough after 4 months of making no money. And I sat down with myself and asked myself, is this really what I want to do the rest of my life? What do I love? What could I do for free the rest of my life? And the answer was fitness. I've always been into fitness, and you can see my past YouTube video. I started working out in high school, but since then I've had ups and downs, and it's all because of living in the modern world and having to work a normal job. But it was so clear that fitness was my passion, because no matter what, throughout the years, fitness was the one constant. I always just loved fitness in general. And that's when I realized that this is what I could do for free for the rest of my life, and I would have no problem with it. And from there, I didn't even go straight into online fitness training. I was still in the mindset that you needed a real job, which is in person through a company, someone paying you. And so I looked into personal training licenses. And to be a licensed personal trainer, it's like $3,000. And then you have to go work for a gym who doesn't even pay you. You work off commission through bringing in your own clients, or you work with the clients that they give you. And then I was like, well, then I'm just going to be back in the same spot, hating my life, working for someone else, trying to get clients, tell them what they want to hear to attract them, rather than being myself and spreading my message. Because the people who go into a gym looking for a personal trainer, you guys have seen them. They're always old people or they're boomers, and they're not doing anything with their personal trainer. Their personal trainer has them doing like ab crunches and band exercises and a whole bunch of useless workouts that aren't going to do anything for them. But that's what those old people want to hear. They want that BS fitness advice for whatever reason, most likely because it's the easiest thing to do. Like, hey, go into the gym, eat whatever you want, as long as you're in a caloric deficit. Don't worry about processed food. Just as long as you get your protein in and your caloric deficit, you're going to make progress. And while, yeah, that's true, it's not going to be sustainable, because I was there. I used to be a basic gym bro. I would drink pre-workout every day. I would drink 2 protein shakes a day. I would eat the Quest protein chips and the Quest protein bars, but it was never sustainable for me. I always went through ups and downs with that diet, because you're never getting the micronutrients you need to keep yourself satisfied and to actually keep it up long term. So then I realized an in-person personal training job just wasn't going to work for me. I needed to reach out and find people that want to come on to what I'm preaching, because I have lived it, because I have living proof through me and through my body, through my physique, through my complexion, that my diet and my style of training is the best way to do it. And with all my online clients, I don't have them do exactly what I do every day. I tailor all of their plans to their body type and their specific goals, but the base of their workout program always stays the same, and that's gym, tan, beef. Go to the gym at least 4 times a week. Get some blood flow. Get those muscles pumped up full of blood. Tan. Get under the sun. Spend time in nature. Have your feet touch the ground. Make sure you're doing grounding. You're going to get vitamin D from the sun and get that test boost. And then beef. Get that high cholesterol food in, that nutrient dense food that's going to give you the satiety to actually stick to the diet. The reason you can eat a whole bag of chips and never feel hungry is because it doesn't satisfy your body. Your body is asking for more micronutrients. It's saying, hey, give me some steak, give me some eggs, I need more nutrients. Your body isn't going to tell yourself that it's full until it has all the nutrients it needs. Plus, you need to be cholesterol maxing with steak and eggs, because cholesterol is the building block to testosterone. Your balls literally convert cholesterol into testosterone. So when I finally realized what I stand for and the message I need to preach, then I realized I need to get it out there to everyone. And that's when I started posting online daily. And a lot of people think that a job as an online fitness coach is easy, but no, it takes so much more discipline because it's between you and you. You don't have a boss telling you that you need to produce more. You don't have a boss telling you when you need to start working or come in the office. You have to come up with your own ideas for the content that you're making. But I was able to make that transition seamlessly because of the discipline that I built through the gym. Because once you guys realize that you have full control over your body and your health, the world opens up to you. You realize you can truly do anything in the world because you have full control over your life. And it took so long for me to realize that. I was always in decent shape or in great shape, but I never realized that the discipline I built through fitness could translate to the rest of my life. And then that's when I started my business as an online fitness coach. And no way was it easy. When I first started out, all the followers I had were like friends from back home and family members, and they were looking at me like I was crazy. They thought, oh, he wants to be an influencer. And it kind of sucks because you're like, yeah, I want to be an online fitness coach. That's what I want to do. Like, no one judged me when I started my real estate business, but as soon as you start posting online, that's when people start hating. And it's because they know they can do it too. They can get in front of a camera and promote their business. They just don't want to put themselves out there. But like I said, again, through discipline, I was able to get past all of that and work towards my goals. Because something I've dealt with for a while, especially with my diet being high in beef and eggs, was my family members telling me that I was going to die of a heart attack or I was going to have clogged arteries. And I've been eating primarily beef and eggs for a little over 5 years now, and I'm still doing fine. Haven't had a heart attack. My cholesterol's fine. But it was just realizing the people that were telling me that I don't need to eat beef and eggs, they weren't even in good shape. So why should I be listening to them on diet? So that from the very beginning built my mental fortitude on how to deal with hate, whether it's from your family or whether it's from your friends. And trust me, most of my family still thinks I'm crazy for doing this. Like, they would never imagine that I could make money online and live in a tropical paradise doing the thing I love. And that's because they're still stuck in that mindset that they have to do a steady job and they shouldn't go out there and chase their dreams. But again, through fitness, I noticed that I have complete control over my whole life and that I control my environment. And it wasn't easy at first. When I was posting my first reels, I would maybe get 10 likes on them, and they were like pity likes, probably from family members. And then after a while, you post so much, even your family members stop liking your stuff, even your friends stop liking your stuff. And it's really funny to see the people you think you're closest to really support you the least when you do something crazy and try to change your life in a drastic way. And yeah, I posted for probably about 7 months before I ever gained any traction on social media. But I knew if I stuck with that discipline and kept posting, eventually I would find my audience and eventually I would grow and be able to share my message with all of you guys. And moving out here wasn't an easy choice either. I literally had to sell all my stuff. And right now is when I have the least amount of stuff in my life, but it's also the happiest I've ever been. I went from driving a brand new Audi and now I drive a 1995 Suzuki. It's a shitbox, but I'm still happier than I ever was in Dallas, driving a fancy Audi, wearing nice suits, wearing nice clothes all the time. Now I literally don't have to wear a shirt. When I roll up to the gym, I wear flip-flops and I don't even wear a shirt because they don't require shoes or a shirt in the gym. And just think about that. How many of you guys wish you could just pop your top off in the gym and walk around barefoot? You can. You can find that environment. It exists out here. You don't have to stay regulated to a gym full of Karens who get mad and complain when you take your shirt off. You have full control over your life. And my friends and family didn't even believe me when I told them I was going to move to Costa Rica. Because I remember telling them a little over a year ago that I was going to do this. I told my mom, my dad, and literally like 2 months before I moved to Costa Rica, my dad was like, oh, so you're actually doing it. And yes, I am. And I guess we just live in a world where people talk out of their asses and don't even take action. And I see that a lot. Everyone wants to be in great shape, but no one actually takes action and does things to get in shape. But even the move out here wasn't easy. Like, I'm literally an immigrant in a new country. Out here, they like to say expat, but I'm an immigrant. That's the truth. I had to learn how to buy a car here, and that was a pain in the ass just because the system works different here. You have to take it to a lawyer to get notarized. You have to have it looked at by a mechanic so it's approved by the state before you buy it. And it was hard to find a mechanic that spoke English or a lawyer that spoke English. But with a little work, we were able to talk to people, make connections, and find people that could help us. That's what I'm just trying to tell you guys is if you want something bad enough, you have to go out and work for it and stay disciplined enough that no matter how much hate is coming your way or how much the world seems stacked against you, you have to have that discipline to continue on and know exactly what your goals are and know that you're going to achieve them. It's just a matter of time. And for a perfect example of how fitness builds discipline that you can apply to the rest of your life is right now I'm on a 3-day fast. So right now I'm a little above 48 hours. So it's been 2 days since I've ate anything. I've only drank salt water and regular water and eaten some salt. So salt and water only. And most people would think that that's absolutely insane. I know people who haven't gone 3 hours without eating. But what you realize through mastering your mind and your body is that also applies to the rest of your life. If you can go without food for 3 days, then what's stopping you from posting on Instagram every day? Then what's stopping you from starting your own business? What's stopping you from starting your dream life? There's literally nothing in the way but yourself. And so if any of you guys are out there thinking, I want to start a business and I want to be rich, I want to live in paradise, then what you have to realize is you have to master yourself and your health first before you're ever going to master your environment and the rest of the things in your life. Because your health is the one thing you have complete control over. You have complete control over what you put in your mouth every day, over the toxins you expose yourself to, over your habits that set you up for a healthy lifestyle. Do you go to the gym after work on Friday, or do you go drink with your friends? Do you eat a nice grass-fed steak on Saturday, or do you smoke weed and eat a bunch of candy and pizza? You have complete control over all of those things. And once you realize that, it will change your life. But you also have to take action and prove it to yourself. Because you can know that you have complete control over your life, but until you prove it to yourself through actions, you're not actually going to believe it. And that's how you get stuck in the cycle of saying, I'll start next week or I'll start next month. Like, for example, this weekend is Easter. And so I know a lot of people are probably like, well, I'm going to eat some bad food at Easter, so I'll start on Monday. That's my fresh, clean slate, and summer's 2 months away. It's the perfect starting time. But those are the same people who I guarantee you are going to be the fat people at the pool party in the summer wearing their shirt in the pool because they just kept telling themselves, I'll do it next week. I'll do it next month. What separates the winners from the losers is starting now. If you want it bad enough, you will start now, right this minute, not tomorrow, not the next week. If you want it, start today. And I went through the same procrastination too when I started this online fitness coaching. I didn't want to post on Instagram. I didn't want to put myself out there. It was scary to me. Like I said, the only people I had following me were my friends and family. So I was thinking, what are they going to think? What are they going to think about my crazy ideas on tap water, on eating only red meat and eggs, eating raw meat and eggs? What are they going to think about my opinions on tap water? What are they going to think about me eating raw meat and eggs on the internet? They're probably going to think I'm crazy. In fact, I know they think I'm crazy. But guess what? Your family members and other people don't control your life. When you go to bed at night, you are responsible for your life and what you're creating. Your family members don't have to sit in bed at night thinking, what if I was something more? What if I meant for more than just working an office job and doing something that I hate? Your family members don't have to deal with those thoughts. You do. So you have to take action and build the life that you want to build. So this is the perfect ending point. Are you guys going to continue to sit around and lie to yourself and tell yourself that you're going to start your fitness journey on Monday, next week, or next month? Or are you actually going to take action today?